Well, it's that time again. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the interview with Craig-Veltri.
Thank you, Megan Pennington, and welcome to the interview. The simplest way to describe the amalgamation that is Nashville-based band MNERVA, spelled without the I, is if Linkin Park traded both their vocalists in for Lin-Manuel Miranda if Miranda could also do the guttural screams. You don't lose much of the angst, but the emotional range and lyrical flow goes up exponentially. MNERVA began purely as a solo project, and a burgeoning one at that. However, with the release of the concept record from beginning to end, we see not merely a progression of a band coming into form, but a record length narrative that boldly weaves rap, rock, and even operatic elements into itself for a compelling, eloquent, and damningly frank tale of love and breaking up. It seems criminal to pick just one song off from beginning to end to showcase here on the program. One song won't give you the scope of this record, but I'm going with One Plus You to play at the end of the show. Not only is it at banger levels of anthemic, it is the song that really cuts to the quick in this story as to why the relationship described, and really any relationship, fails. As our guest puts it, you didn't make me your priority. Recording in Nashville and calling in from Nashville, proving once again Music City, USA was never specified. Here he is, the lead singer and floor tom player from MNERVA, Matt Wagner. Matt, welcome to the interview.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you so much for having me.
So the story, I think, began as I've heard it told, began in Nashville around pandemic time, and it was purely a solo project. Where did it begin, and why did the name MNERVA and the spelling specifically call to you?
So MNERVA has been in the works since 2017, if I remember correctly. So I was working at Gibson Guitars in their HR department as an intern, and it was a 9 to 5. And I remember being like, I never want to do this again. This sucks. And
you wrote a song about it.
Yes, I did. Yes, it called The Interview.
Mm-hmm.
Roll credits. Yes, so we basically, it was my last day at the internship, and I was like, okay, there has to be more to this. And this song called MNERVA by Deftones came on my
Great
Spotify shuffle. And the way I heard it, it was just like, oh my God, it's like I was listening to music for the first time all over again. And because I was like, what if someone took like these shoegaze guitars and like fused it with like hip hop drums and rapped over it? And that was kind of like the original idea of what MNERVA would become. At the time, I really wasn't much of a singer. I was much more of a rapper. And so that was how the moniker started. And really, I didn't get rid of I didn't use the I because I didn't really want it to be about me, is what I always tell people. And I always wanted it to eventually become a band if I decided to go into rock music. And then when the world ended with the pandemic, I got very depressed, as most other musicians did, as our whole industry got shut down. And yeah, I really started transitioning from a hip hop project into more of a rock project. And then with the release of my song Sorry Forget About Me, that really is what started solidifying that transition. And ever since, I've been an alternative rock artist. And then I brought Eric in officially into the band, my guitarist and songwriting partner, about a year ago at this point. We just announced him over Instagram like a couple months ago, but yeah, he's been working behind the scenes with me for a long time, and writing with him is just the best. And also our harmony blend just makes me so happy.
And sounds great on record, sounds great live. But I want to go back to, as far as you saying you started mostly as a rapper, and just the liberties that you make as a lyricist and as far as the rhythms you are concerned. When you talk to me after the show, in fact, you actually really described yourself as a drummer primarily. So what came first, the lyric or the drum?
The drums by far. So I've been playing drums since I was 5 years old. My dad's actually a drummer, so second generation, and my mom's a singer. You know, they combined their houses, and here I am. But
a lot of family jams.
So many, my God. But they make completely different music to me. My mom's like a brilliant jazz singer, and my dad is he was originally in like R&B, like had a record deal when he was like 25, did the whole journey, and then I was like, I like metal, and they were like, yeah, I don't know what to do with this, man. Well, even more, I was like, I
There are
like
a lot of jazz elements to metal. You would think they'd be common allies.
I agree. Well, it was really when I started telling them I wanted to write musicals for a living. That's when they were really like, yeah, okay, well, I don't know how to do this one. But we'll get there. But yeah, so I've been playing drums for about 24 years now, and so everything I think of when it comes to music is through a drummer's lens. And so like I'm arranging songs in like chart structure as far as like, cool, we got 4 bars here. Okay, we got our 2-bar pre-chorus for then our hook for 8 bars, and it's how I put shows together. It's everything, and I'm so happy I was a drummer first, and then discovered the world of harmony and lyrics and melody a lot later.
I've often described my songwriting style on this programming as the way a musical character comes to sing in the context of a musical, and so far that the emotion is built up in the scene so much the only thing that you can do is sing. I can't help but wonder if you might take it a step further in that not only do you sing the song, but you built the entire 45-minute act by the end of it. And I think from beginning to end is proof of that. Am I on the right track as far as your process is concerned?
Yeah. So this record, before From Beginning to End, MNERVA had only done EPs, like little like 5-song, 6-song projects. And in 2021, my first like real adult relationship ended, and we always made this joke. I'm still very good friends with this girl, but we made this joke the whole time that when we broke up, I'd write an album about her, and then we broke up, and I immediately, From Beginning to End, came to me, like the title came to me like an hour later. I was probably focusing on that instead of being sad, was how that worked. But yeah, I knew I wanted to write an album about becoming friends with an ex-girlfriend, because that's something I haven't really heard before. There's a million breakup records. There's a million like love songs and falling in love records.
You to Letters to the Defendant by Craig-Veltri. Yes.
Shameless plug. But yeah, I haven't really ever seen that angle on a relationship before, and again, I'm very proud to say, I mean, she's still one of my best friends to this day. I mean, every song that I wrote for the album, I showed her first, being like, hey, is it okay if I say this, basically? And yeah, so I knew,
including stuff like My Friends Don't Like You. How did that go over?
her thing was, if it wasn't true, don't say it. And no, my friends could not stand her, so she was like, that song kind of bangs. 1+U is, funnily enough, her favorite song on the record, and it's the Fuck You song.
It is definitely that, and we'll talk a little bit more about that on the Craig-Veltri interview. Proud member of the Scarfire Media Podcast Network. For more on Scarfire Media, visit us on all of our social media, Scarfire Media. Listen to all the great podcasts we have on here, Fire Pit, the Cool Brother Podcast, and thank you for listening to the Craig-Veltri interview. What I liked about 1+U and a lot of the things that you did as far as just callbacks to other songs that were on the record and how you wove it in. Did it present itself that easy in the process as you were writing these songs, or like did you have the entire record just kind of mapped out in your head and you hit the studio and there's From Beginning to End?
So it came in chunks for the most part. I had the first song, You and Me, already written for a musical I was writing, because that was a whole part of my career for a while. And we decided to change the plot of the ending, me and my scriptwriter at the time, which meant I had to cut You and Me from the show. And I'm like, this is the best song on the show. This song is one of my favorite songs I've ever written. And I was in this relationship with this girl, and so I just rewrote it for her, because I was like, I love this song. And so I had that, and then I had Circles 18 Months, which, so we have the beginning, we have right before the intermission, and then I knew I wanted to end the record on a song called Better Off as Friends. It didn't end up being called that, but so I was like, I had these like checkpoints, if you will, of like what I wanted to say and where the story was going to go. So before I even started writing the record, so I was like, okay, well, I'm in love. it needs to fall apart. How's it going to fall apart so I can get the circles? Okay. Well, now the relationship's over. How do we become friends again? What are all the different angles and steps to get there? Because I can't just be like, oh, and we're good now. So that really is how the record forms. So the narrative is, cool, you started you and me. I'm in love. Everything is great. This is our relationship. You get to All In. That's where it's like, oh my God, like this is everything I've ever wanted. It's never going to get better than this. My friends don't like you. Oh, hey, cracks are forming. Like other people can see the issues, but you can't. And the fact that that song is like a love song, it's actually a very sweet song. But if you really look at the lyric, I'm crazy, and you can tell I'm crazy. But like and then you get to give it all, and you're seeing how the dark side of my friends don't like you of, okay, cool, it's like I am a hopeless romantic in a bad way. And then you get the circles, and then 1 + U happens of, oh, fuck you, I never needed you anyway. And then it keeps going from there. But basically it was all about, okay, how do I like justify being friends with my ex-girlfriend? That's really hard to do, especially in our current culture of very black and white. They're either good or bad.
Well, I think the one track that was also, I think, a standout, Detox, that you did with Dawn, I think is how the artist pronounces the name, spelled
Yes.
Davvn. And it almost gives a voice to the opposite side. It actually does give, if you will, a fairness doctrine within the course of your poem, or the course of your work, rather, to give the girlfriend equal time. Was it just kind of one of those things like, let me give a spot just so that let's make sure we're still friends at the end of this? Was that how that verse came in?
You know, it's so funny. No, at all, actually. So that song was actually the first song I wrote post this breakup, and it wasn't for me. It was for Dawn. But like they had this hook that was basically about my situation, about like, hi, you're way more into your partner than they are, and so you have to end things and you need space. And I'm like, guys, I just went through this like about like a month ago. So we ended up writing the song, and they one thing led to another, and they were like, hey, we really like the song, like it just doesn't really fit the direction our band is going right now. And I was like, great, I'll take it. Yeah, please. So yeah, we ended up doing it, and I was like, I would love for you guys to be on it, and especially because we wrote it with McCall in mind in particular, and so yeah, it just was a really nice coincidence, and I love that it comes off that way, because I did not mean for that to happen at all.
Well, and what does come through on at the end of it, that there is still kind of an optimism, even though I did catch lyrically that in the case of this narrative, it sounds like you moved on to a better relationship, and everything there was just lessons learned and nothing more. Was that bit of poetic license just to add a little more weight to it, and not to say everything's fluffy kittens and bunnies over in this way, that just add a little darkness to the ending?
Honestly, it was just the truth. It was I mean, I'm not with her anymore, but I got into a 3-year relationship right after a couple months after me and the girl the album's about broke up. And so yeah, when I say it ends, like, but now I'm with someone who loves me too, it's like, I mean, that next relationship was really the first time anyone ever like loved me with their whole selves. Like I love my ex-girlfriend I'm still friends with, but like we were never meant to be together. We were friends. You know what I mean? And so getting to then see that new context in that relationship was like, oh, everything the from beginning to end relationship taught me, made me the best version of myself I can be now. And I would not, I'm now at the point where I'm with the person who I'm very sure I'm going to marry. And it's like, okay, I wouldn't be able to love the way I do now if it wasn't for that from beginning to end relationship. Mm-hmm. That really taught me how to give all of myself.
I hope someday I get to that level of understanding myself, and it's good to see that there's still people out there that are trying. And you talk about the evolution with your with that relationship. Let's talk mostly the evolution of the band. You mentioned the addition of the guitarist. and beginning this as a solitary venture, and it came out as a band. Was it that you wanted a band, or did the music demand a band?
Ooh, I love that question. Kind of both, honestly. So when I started MNERVA, again, it was a hip hop project, but I mean, by the time we dropped Invincible, it's like, oh no, this is like a rock project. I mean, and I had a pretty dedicated band for most of the run, but then around the time we dropped Invincible, my partner Eric Fatima, he moved back to Vegas, and in order to be closer to his family, and just life happened. And so he'd been playing every MNERVA show with me ever since my first show at the 5 spot in August of 21. And then my drummer also stopped playing with me around that time. So then I just had this like revolving door of musicians for all of 2023, if I remember correctly. I think I played a show with a different drummer every time. And being a drummer, that killed me. That was really hard. Because I'm like trying to reteach everything, and like, oh my god, the energy just feels different every show. It took a long time for me to land on my current drummer, Kevin Gorin, who's incredible.
How close were you to just taking over the drums and just being behind the kit, or was there no question that you were going to be out and running around in the front?
Oh no question. Yeah, I did the whole front the band from behind the drum set thing in high school, and it's such a cool party trick. But once you do it for more than 3 songs, people stop caring. They're like, eh. And it's like, and I was like, no, I want to like entertain. And honestly, being behind the drum set makes me a better front man, because I'm like, whenever I'm there, I'm like, when I play drums for people and like they're not even like moving, I'm like, guys, have fun with it. Like that's the dream. That's like the best thing you could be doing. So I feel like being a drummer really gave me an appreciation. So now when I go up there, I mean, I know you've seen the show, I just go fucking crazy the whole time, because I'm like, this is what I've wanted to do my whole life. But yeah, so going back to Eric though, so he moved to Vegas for about a year, and again, I just had this revolving door of musicians, and it was just driving me nuts. And so then he moved back from Vegas about 11 months later, and we got lunch at a Burger Republic just to like catch up. And it was his idea. He hit me up as like, hey man, I want to talk to you about like getting back involved. I'm like, well, Eric, I mean, I've kind of found like my guitarist at this point that I'm like very happy with. Like, obviously, I love you, but like, I just don't think like we're there. And he's like, oh no, I'm not talking about playing guitar for you. I want to join your band. I'm like, oh well, that's a very different conversation. So now I'm seeing like everything I've ever wanted is like being in front of me, and it was the fight between like, oh my god, I've spent the last 4 years building this band. It's like it was really an ego check, if anything. It was like, but no, this is everything I've ever wanted. So yeah, I mean, it took a while for us to like figure out the rhythm, and like he was so patient. He had like a 9-month trial period, if you will. but yeah, no, it became pretty obvious, especially when we started writing together. Like spoiler alert, I know From Beginning to End just dropped, but like we're almost done with the next record. And
that was going to be my next question. Is it going to be a continuation on themes? Is it going to be another checking on your life, or is there going to be like a broader narrative on something completely different?
So it's going to be completely different. It's not going to have a narrative thread. It's going to have like a theme more. So it's going to be our self-titled record, just a simple MNERVA release. Because now that the band's a band,
go black with it,
right? But now that MNERVA's a band, we go white, if anything, over black. Now that MNERVA's a band,
black was the last scheme. Fair enough, fair game.
Yeah. Now that MNERVA's a band, it would be the type of thing of like, oh no, this is like the type of music like I've always wanted to make since I was like a kid. Like, because we're making like new metal, like just unfiltered, pure, unadulterated. I mean, I think I'm screaming on like almost every song in some capacity. And it's just really bringing Eric in, and I mean, he's got perfect pitch, and he's just a brilliant musician. Like his guitar contributions have just made it so, oh cool, I'm not a piano player who like is trying to write metal riffs. Now it's like, oh no, it's right. And so this is like the record that we always wanted to do, like going all the way forward. And this is the type of music we always want to make from now on, and it's been very exciting, and yeah, so I'm really pumped, and yeah, it's probably going to be a decently quick turnaround. Like I was just in the studio for it right before this. We got like 4 songs done. We're doing a 10-song record, but the theme is a look through nihilism. Like the last year of my life has been I've been asking the question, what's the point a lot? Like, not in like living, but just like when there's all this like hatred in the world and all this like this corruption and just no one knows what's true anymore, it's really hard to like keep hope. And the whole point of MNERVA is that we want to give hope and remind people that it'll get better than this. So it's
Yeah, I mean, I used Linkin Park as an example of what I think your soundscape demonstrates, and I think a lot about all of those new metal bands, Limp Bizkit, Korn, and a lot of those bands. And I think where you differ from them is that yes, their anger and their nihilism, it really is just just a giant scream and just throwing fists and perfect for moshing. Yours, on the other hand, it's new metal you can dance to, and it's so I think it's and get and be uplifted by. So I think you found a pretty good formula on that. Do you think that that is to say, I haven't heard the record, is that kind of what you're going for as far as your content?
so it's definitely gonna be heavier, no question. Like I mean, it's like a new metal record, but it's going to start with a sequel to my song "The Interview" called "The Sequel" because I wrote that song 10 years ago, which is wild. And the whole point of the song is like in 5 years it'll get better than this.
Exactly.
And so it'll come out 5 years after the OG interview came out in 2021. So it's kind of like a check-in type of situation where it's like, okay,
Follow
cool.
up, if you will.
Yeah, it's like it's not will it get better than this, it is going to get better than this, and then it's going to like fade off like oh, and then start with this song Annihilation that's all about like oh my god we're fucked type of thing. And so then it's going to be us trying to get back to that spot throughout the whole record, and basically at the end of the record you'll be like oh well, like love is how you do it. Like not like necessarily even romantic love, just like like building community.
Well, hopefully, maybe if you don't get back to there, at least you get to somewhere that's green in as far as grass and as far as the other kind of green. We have
Yes.
we have a nice way of closing here on the Craig-Veltri interview, Matt. It's called the No Kidding Questionnaire. A couple of rapid fire questions. The first thing that comes to your mind whenever you're ready, and away we go. Childhood celebrity crush.
Amy Lee.
For a new metal guy, I don't find that at all surprising. Was it more the voice or was it more everything else?
Everything. It's when I knew I was straight.
Follow up to that question: is that how you found a type, or did that not was that the type of girl you wound up chasing most of your life?
Funnily enough, the first person I ever had a crush on looks nothing like her, and then was the blueprint for my whole life. And when I finally stopped looking for the Sabrina Carpenter clone, it's when I was finally happy.
Yeah. Uh, good call on that one. Those I've dated a couple of Sabrina Carpenter clones. It's confusing at best. Moving on with the questionnaire. Favorite subject in school?
Math.
As a drummer, that I don't find that surprising at all. Was it? Did you specifically what discipline?
Loves geometry a lot. Algebra was all right, but like anything like I'm such a like finance guy and I love taxes. Like if I wasn't a musician, I'd probably be an accountant. The ability to like manipulate numbers to your advantage is just so fun to me. I love it. And
well, that is in fact the next question on the questionnaire. So can I put you down as what occupation other than your own would you like to attempt as an accountant?
I would be an accountant. Yes.
Okay. Do you do your own taxes?
I do. Yes. The Schedule C goes crazy.
Well, on the other side of the coin, what job, I don't care how many bags of tax deductible money are handed to you, would you never want to attempt?
Oh, just I can't work at a desk a 9 to 5 where I'm doing nothing and getting paid for it. Like the amount of just wasted work, like hours in the labor force of like you just don't do anything. It drives me nuts. I can't do it.
Try any kind of warehouse work as well. It's as much of it.
At least that you're moving. At least you're doing things.
If you wind up in a place where they blast music you don't like, it's a special kind of hell.
I can
So,
imagine. Oh yeah.
so moving
Ugh.
on to the questionnaire, what is your go-to food on a road trip?
Subway.
Subway. Okay,
It's a
what's your Subway
tradition of
order?
mine. Anytime I go on the road, I get Subway at like every gas station.
Well, uh, simple in and out, and I hear it's good for weight loss. What is your Subway order?
Oh, just like a Philly cheesesteak, like the steak and cheese, basically. They're like equivalent of it.
Mm. I like a good cheesesteak. I can name you a few better places than Subway for that one. I never bothered trying.
Oh yeah.
Uh, if you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh god, that's hard. Probably I'm gonna go Tyler Joseph, 21 Pilots at this point.
Okay. What do you like about 21 Pilots and Tyler Joseph in Pacific?
Oh, I think he's just brilliant as far as his approach to songwriting, just his approach to life, and how he's been able to like become one of the biggest artists in the world and still be normal and like have a family and like I mean I also wrote a musical with half his material and got a cease and desist letter for it, so I would love to talk through that all with him. That's how my career started. But I've met Josh. I have not met Tyler. I would love to meet Tyler. But yeah, no, I would just also love to thank him for just how much of an influence he's had on me and how much he's kind of saved my life, if I'm being honest.
I have a few artists that are like that, not just musicians for
Yeah.
the save my life category. Matt Wagner, what is your biggest pet peeve?
When people move my things and don't tell me. I have
Does that
really
happen
bad
often?
ADHD. I have a system though. It's like if you move things, even if it's more organized, don't fucking do it. I will not be able to find it.
Oh, yeah. My dad is a regular listener. For the longest time, when I was a kid, I used to think my name was "Does that go there?" Because you put the remote on the armrest. Does that go there? Into the basket it goes. So, um, I come from that, and I try to it takes me 20 minutes to find my keys most mornings, so I'm
Every day.
definitely
Well,
not
I
like
have one of those clickers that I can like call from my phone.
that. Last question of the questionnaire. What is the best advice that anyone has ever given you?
That's given me. Oh god. Um, I'd probably go something along the lines of some of my therapist has told me, which is shame dictates all your actions. Don't let it.
Hmm.
So like when you like get really small or when you like puff your chest out, all that is a shame. And if you are just 100% yourself, you're gonna get farther in life and have people actually like you for who you are instead of what you project.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easier if you get through a relaxed posture, other than these, just moving through crowds in general.
Yeah, exactly.
And is that a lot of that? It you talked about a lot of your next record is almost. It almost sounds like it's almost another examination of what you just brought up. Would that be correct?
It goes into a lot of stuff. I purposely decided to write no love songs. That's not true. There's one love song on it, but to end the record. But like, because I just did that with from beginning to end for the whole record. So I mean, it goes into my views on religion. It goes into my views on politics. It goes into my relationship with my family. It goes into my fear of my mixed feelings about my grandmother who has dementia dying. My alcoholism. I'm 5 years sober. Like it goes into like
Through
every
myself.
other. Let's go. It goes into like every other one of those.
Hmm. Well, I mean, I think you and I have heard a lot of this. Guilt and shame is basically the same coin,
Yeah,
and you can look around this country and this culture, and it's fear based, but it's also a lot of shame based. And I really just hope that if we're going to have a chance as a species any longer, we need to get over some of that stuff.
yep,
So,
I agree.
yeah. Well, this is the part of the program, Matt, that I think every guest should enjoy the most. It is time for shameless self-promotion.
Let's go.
From beginning again, see what I mean? From beginning to end is available on all streaming. Where can we find MNERVA? Where can we find any of your fine products? Plug your pluggables, fire away.
Hey guys, what up? My name is Matt from the band MNERVA. So you can find us at MNERVA Official on all socials. We got TikTok, Instagram, like Facebook, Farmers Only. I don't care. So yes, if, you'll find us there. Check out our new record From Beginning to End that just dropped. It's a pop punk concept record all about falling in love and watching it fall apart and then learning how to pick up the pieces. And yeah, stay tuned. We got a lot more music coming for you in 2026, including our self-titled new metal debut record.
I'm usually not this strong as far as the promo on these guys, but if you're in Nashville or if you have found yourself on their social media, check their dates, see this band live. They are incredible. Get to see them while you can still afford it, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Wagner of MNERVA, thank you so much for joining me here today on the Craig-Veltri interview.
Thank you so much for having me, man.
The Craig-Veltri interview, where Craig-Veltri interviews wonderful people, is a production of Scarfire Media, the voice of the independent artist. Written and edited by Craig-Veltri. Your announcer is Megan Pennington. The opening theme, Shut Up I Love You, written by Trenton Chandler and Craig-Veltri, performed by Craig-Veltri, produced by Jack Gavin. Saving Up Dreams, along with my entire catalog, is available on all streaming. Quick update on Inside the Cabin by Moonshine Vagabonds, the record that myself and Megan Pennington will be putting out, is clearly on schedule, as you heard from our friend Matt Wagner. Myself and Dallas Jack have been going hard at work to get the string implementations, bass, and guitars on that. We'll even be adding some fiddle seal and one more song to the record. So as it stands right now, Inside the Cabin will be a 7-song record, and we are aiming for an estimated date of release, Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2026. Release parties in Pittsburgh and Nashville are currently in the planning stages. Once we have that confirmed, you'll hear about it on all of our social media, all of Scarfire's social media, and of course here on the Craig-Veltri interview. Time now to update the event calendar, because you must know where I am at all times. In the meantime, in between time, as Megan is fond of saying. Friday, December the 12th, it will be myself and the Vagabonds at Tin Roof Memphis on Beale Street from 7 to 10 p.m. Saturday the 13th, by myself on the Tin Roof stage from 3 to 6:30. Tin Roof Memphis on Beale Street, the 12th and the 13th. One with a band, one just with me. I will announce this solo gig here as well. I will be at G's on Liberty on Friday, December 19th, my final show in Pittsburgh for the year, unless otherwise notified. But for the most part, I plan on just taking it easy this New Year's. So Friday the 19th, last show in Pittsburgh for 2025, G's on Liberty in Bloomfield, 7 to 9 p.m. See you there, be there, aloha. For full days, including Pittsburgh, Canton, Ohio, Raleigh, North Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, and Nashville and Memphis, Tennessee, visit my website at craig-veltri.bandzoogle.com. For booking info, including full band on this podcast, email me at craig-veltri@gmail.com. You can find the interview on Facebook by searching the Craig-Veltri interview, YouTube at Craig-Veltri Music, and you can find me on Instagram, or as my old roommate, the Tommy Thomas, used to call it, Instagirl, at craig.veltri. With special thanks to Dallas Jack for Matt Wagner, I'm Craig-Veltri, and this has been the Craig-Veltri interview. With that, I'll pass. Off their album From Beginning to End, here's MNERVA with 1+U on the Craig-Veltri interview, proud member of the Scarfire Media Podcast Network.
I always hold your head up when you're hungover. I never complain, even since I was sober. I burned through my paychecks to buy us more time. Been busy designing a perfect surprise, but you won't even walk a block to stay over. I beat myself up just to keep you around, and I put you on the high shelf just for you to put me down. You never make me a priority. You never make me, you never make me a priority. I'm a fucking whatever, I'm so much better without you, I'm telling you. I'm always settling around you, too wrapped up in yourself, and you don't care that we're doomed. You're always too tired to come on to me, then chain my libido to go home and sleep. Cause with you, I have jacked up more than without you. I beat myself up just to keep you around, and I put you on the high shelf just for you to put me down. You never make me a priority. You never make me, you never make me, you never make me a priority. I'm a fucking whatever, I'm so much better without you, I'm telling you. I'm always settling for us, cause your 3 words don't add up to much. Takes 2 to call it love, but 1 plus you is not enough. You never make me a priority. Here's why I'm leaving. 1, oh, so much is missing. 2, oh, I deserve something different. 3, oh, you just couldn't learn. For what it's worth, you better listen. 1, oh, so much is missing. 2, oh, I deserve something different. 3, oh, you just couldn't learn. For what it's worth, you never make me a priority. You never make me, you never make me, you never make me a priority. I'm a fucking whatever, I'm so much better without you, I'm telling you. I'm always settling for us, cause your 3 words don't add up to much. Takes 2 to call it love, but 1 plus you is not enough.